That's Jesus.
There it is, close to 1,000.
That's just a fame barometer. Because I knew like nobody, everybody wanted to know what does Burr think, what does Rogan think. Nobody asked what does Bob think about what happened to Louis.
Hey Bob, yeah, they would almost.
Not one fan gave me shit for. I haven't said a word about what happened to Louis. Not one word on social media. Not one person went. You need to give your. If you're not saying anything,
well, because
then
that's
you're
bullshit.
part of the problem.
The people that are saying that you need to say something are bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all bullshit. That's all gang mentality. Where they're like, I said something, you say something. You have to say something because you don't have to say shit.
Right.
It's very strange. It's all very strange. Everyone has their thing, and they need to hear everyone else's thing, and it's a very sick.
It's just a culture of it's a culture of people yelling over each other, much like this podcast.
But we'll say it right now: we all stand with Louis.
See, this is where Lewis gets interesting because he takes hard. He's a hardliner, as they call
Right,
the
dude,
political
what am I
world.
going to do? Look, dude, I see things as black and white. Am I going to say that Louis, by being an adult man and asking a woman, "Hey, can I jerk off in front of you?" Does that make him a horrible person or a rapist or a sexual offender? No,
He should not be put in
At
the
work.
same category as Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey.
But
And
he's
the
a
fact-
pervert. But he
the
did
fa-
perverted shit.
Okay, wait a
we're
second.
all perverts.
Yeah, sure. To
Not
a varying
everybody.
degree.
I'm jerking off
not
right
everybody.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's going real hard.
I finished.
We should all just take our dicks out and jerk on in solidarity.
Guys, a 4-dick salute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say,
Gary.
Mike doesn't have a dick?
Well, I thought that was going to be the 4 of us.
No, my
Oh, I
staff
see.
can't do that.
Yeah, the staff. That's
They
him
need to-
using his
they
power.
have a job to do.
That's power dynamics.
Yeah.
Hold on, Gabby. We're just kidding.
I think that we're having a hard time because, first of all, he's my friend. I really love Louis. He's done so much for me. I had a kid because of Louis.
What?
Because
Did he throw his jism at you and you caught it and put it in Dawn?
No, because I talked to him at Just for Laughs.
Yeah.
When I first met him or hung out with him actually, at the Nasty Show, and we talked for days, and we became friends there. And
At what point did he ask if he could jerk off in front of you?
second day.
Yeah.
He goes, what are you doing?
I didn't let him till the third.
Yeah.
No, but he had a kid.
But
and
it
he
made,
talked
it
about
made it such a big load when he finally came.
he
That's the best. It's called edging.
Yeah.
I like Dan's. He was just, that's the best.
Is it really
It's called
edging?
engine. Yeah, it's called
When
engine.
you
where
get close to it
and
coming
then
and
you don't come, you let it go.
and then you
It's a huge load, dude.
Yeah, you super soaker.
Yeah, but
Wow.
if you don't do it for like 4 days before and then do it, woof.
A 4-day edge.
Yeah.
Girls don't want you to edge, by the way.
There's actually an antidote to it too. If your wife is there, then it doesn't happen.
Girls,
Where's
girls,
that bandana perfectly.
I got it right here.
girls don't like giant loads. You know what I do? Because my girlfriend's a feminist. When I eat her out, instead of doing the alphabet, I just write Trump on her pussy.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Got it.
Bang.
Making sure that thing still works on all sides.
That joke sucks.
Listen, I think that it's because we're friends with him. But I had my kid because if a guy like him, I talked to him what a good dad he was. I just was like, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. I was like, and I talked about being a dad and all that stuff. And he was like, you should do it. It was like this turning point. Like when I was going to get married or actually be with my chick for real, I actually had a big conversation with Colin Quinn about that because he had a situation where he was married and things didn't work and blah, blah, blah. And he gave me great advice on being married. Now here I am married with a kid, and Louis was part of that kid. And I actually told him that like 6 months ago. I was like, you're one of the reasons I had a kid because I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could be a dad,
So he was like, thanks, Bobby. I feel like nothing can go wrong in my life right now.
Because, what can I say? I'm 100%. There's nothing to worry about with me.
But I feel
you
bad.
are okay.
But the thing is that I think you have to. People are struggling with. He's my friend. What happened to him is way too much. It's too much. They took away everything.
I'm personally disgusted by his agents and managers dropping him because it's such a shallow, obvious move where they're like, we don't work with him. See, we're not bad. We don't even condone that. And it's like, you fucking leeches. When the smoke clears in 6 months, they start kicking around going, come on, buddy. I loved you. We just had to do that for the cameras.
What about the agents and managers that are calling up trying to find out what's going on with his agents and managers?
Oh, good for them. They're fucking getting a steal.
Oh yeah, I got him coming in for a meeting with Gas Digital next week.
Doing a podcast.
That'd be hilarious if
Louis cast.
All right.
I would be worried for Louis. I would reach out to you or Joe and I'd be like, hey, if you want like Tell Louis to go to Allen. He's on Gas Digital now. No, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it Cum Stain with Louis C.K.
And Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
But I think that's where we're at now. You have to, because everyone gets mad at you. People are mad at Aziz for not leaving Dave
That's
Becky.
insane.
So it's like you have to do it. It's
That's-
not the managers and agents. It's the
No,
whole culture.
that's his act. They're mad at him for his act.
No, we got it.
They're mad at him
You
for
you
his
can't
act.
repeat it.
He's not a good comic.
Buddy, leave her alone.
Wake
I'm
up.
not gonna do anything.
Be
I touched-
She's only
woke.
16.
I know. Are you? Oh fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Is that the?
Sweet.
Oh my God.
Louis has a Rolodex of age of consent.
It'd be
in
so
each
great
state.
if he did this with her and it took all the heat off of Louis.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
What if I told you the problem went deeper? Louis J. Gomez. There's some blogger jerking off while they write it. That GQ piece is fucking ridiculous.
What poem is
About
the GQ?
about all men.
all male comedians. They're
All-
this
I'll
fucking
Say it,
guy
read it.
I
clearly.
didn't see that.
This guy clearly wrote this in order to impress a girl.
It's too
That he's
long
like,
to
right,
read."
ladies, look at me. Aren't I muscular? Those big guys are mean. You know what I like? Happy stuff. You fucking tool. You fucking tool. And GQ, you should be ashamed of yourself.
But they had Kevin
So-
Spacey on the cover, Louis on the. They've had all these guys on the cover.
And it's
This,
just them
this
bad.
is the name of the article. Why all comedy men are so awful.
Isn't that this is the best though? We go
Oh.
Google the article by GQ about how men comedians are all awful. You type in GQ and it says Stephen Colbert, Man of the Year.
Yeah. Who was on.
He's a
male
comedian.
Who's a male comedian.
Yeah.
It's just really convenient when they want to
Well, here's what
forget
they're doing.
who, when they want to, when it's like a group right now, like male comedians, that's the buzzword to fucking nail. It's like, let's get male comedians.
There it is, right there, and he's the face of it. Like
And
All
Louis,
comedy men.
yeah. Why all
That's
comedy?
not
So
a
that doesn't mean
phrase.
just stand up. That means improv. That means writers. That means fucking, you're saying all men in comedy.
And they
Well,
are all
improv
awful,
comedy's
but
awful.
stand-up
Well,
comedy.
yeah, we all know that. If you're a
but
male in
what's
improv-
this guy's name? Drew McGarry.
Oh, he's a humorist. Look him up. Anybody that calls himself a humorist needs to be hit in the head with a brick.
They
Oh,
pissed.
not-
Wait a minute,
not
stop,
the
stop.
Legion of Skanks
Oh,
bonfire
That's right,
way.
motherfuckers. YKWD fans. Up in arms, bitch. Find Drew McGreary.
No, don't do that. Hi, I'm Dan Soder, the voice of reason. Don't do that.
Can I read some
Also,
of
it's
this?
McGarry,
Lewis,
don't
can you read
fight
some of this
McGarry.
for
All right,
us?
Richard Pryor was angry.
Hold
No,
on.
no, no.
Don't read this. He goes, I can tell you which articles to go to,
Go.
or which paragraphs, because
Okay.
he basically tells the story of Richard Pryor and why Richard Pryor beat on his wife and was
Yeah.
terrible, but he was still funny because he was honest. Then he shits on Kinnison. Go down because he really starts getting
Yeah,
self-righteous.
go down, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, don't, Mike. Go down if you feel comfortable going
Good
down.
damn, mate. I thought you were doing. I thought you
On
were
the
doing-
music, cause it's me, Gilly Fastuca.
Good night,
I
mate.
put a curse on all male comedians.
Except the ones who make meats and cheeses.
You're all cursed. You're all doomed.
The last two paragraphs,
All right, read it.
those two are fucking
Read
terrible.
those, Lewis.
Okay, now let's talk about that community for a minute because it's very insular and very protective. If you go by the list of the greatest comedians of all time, it's a community that has harbored a great number, perhaps a disproportionate number of misogynists, abusers, and shitbags.
Whoa, stop 1 second.
That's good writing.
You're fucking
Misogynist.
calling people shitbags?
I mean, that's
This
accurate.
guy's calling people
Accurate.
shitbags.
I don't even mind being a misogynist, an abuser, or a shitbag. Just
All right.
own it. Stop pretending we're good dudes. Are you not realizing this? Stop pretending
Buddy,
you're good.
stop it. You can be a good guy
No.
and a shitbag.
Also, you look like you're
you
boxing
can
someone
have.
out
I'm a
under
good
the
guy.
hoop.
I'm a good guy and
I'm
do
a,
shitbag things.
I'm a
sometimes.
good guy. Dude. When you're with your son, not your father, because he's dead, and he was a shitbag.
First off, we're always with our Father because our Father's God and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I think that when you're saying shitbags and you're saying abusers, misogynist is one thing. Abuser is a fucking whole other thing, bro.
Yeah, and it
But if
sounds
you
that-
go by their
that's-
definition of abuser, we're all abusers.
It sounds like they're
every
going-
woman I've ever dated has been like, "Oh, he's emotionally manipulative and he's fucking crazy." Yeah, dude. Because if you're in love with somebody, that's where it fucking goes when it goes south. You become emotionally manipulative. You get under each other's fucking nerves. You get each other a little bit crazy. Every single.
Can you
fucking
say it
person.
without so much passion?
Thank God I'm not in
No,
love with my wife.
I cannot. You're
also-
passionless, Joe. You're not going to deal with any of this.
Yeah,
shit.
you are
Passionless.
passionless.
I'm the most passionate guy here.
No, you're not.
You're just because you fucking talk like an
Passionless.
animal and wave your arms and skip around in your dumb
Racist.
fucking seat doesn't mean you're passionate. It means you're dumb.
Look, he's speechless.
No, I'm passionate.
I just like that they're describing comedians the way that it's like a 1920s, like vagabonds, dirtbags, grotesque. They'll steal everything you got.
Dozens of women say Bill Cosby is a rapist. Woody Allen's daughter says he raped her, a claim he has denied. Actress Tisha Campbell filed a lawsuit against Martin Lawrence. I never knew this, claiming sexual harassment and battery on the set of Martin. Harassment so severe that she apparently had producers ban him from the set of his own show. That is some fucking power there, Martin. Wow. Martin was banned from the set of his own show.
Yeah,
okay.
That's how crazy he was.
Real ass dude of the week. Given what we know about Hollywood these days, it's a wonder that they can accommodate her request. These are not sad clowns. These are very famous, very powerful men who, in hindsight, appear to have used comedy to mask the truth more than illuminate it. In fact, it's telling that CK fell upon the quote-unquote I have issues defense when woman said she confronted him about jacking off in front of women. When confronted, comedians have a nasty habit of defense.
Everybody does. It's called being accused of something. You get defensive when you're accused of something. This guy's a fucking moron. Keep going.
Defensiveness and playing up the background issues that drive up the crave yucks. And for too long, the comedy world has indulged that ruse, letting a guy like CK invite your pity if he can get laughs.
He's not inviting your pity. He's getting laughs at you. But he's one of the greatest comedians.
Yeah, but
of
he
all
just
time.
doesn't like that type of comedy.
He's
and
a
lot
fucking
of
idiot.
But a lot of people.
Oh, by the way, you can also find this guy on Artie Lang's podcast, just yucking it up about regular shit. So if you want to see,
was he?
Yeah, it's pretty convenient that this guy all of a sudden now is a fucking truth teller, and on the side of I don't agree with that when he fucking
he talks about Artie in the article, right?
Yeah, he talks
Where?
about Artie. And then, like,
in the article.
Hey, there he is, Joe Lispack. By the way, he just
left.
talks about a scene from Louis where Louis takes out that heckler and says, like, you know, it's that famous line where he's like, hey, look, a cunt's giving birth to a cunt. Because she talks. And this guy's like, now, yes, I know it's fictitious, but what does it really say? And it's like, dude, you're fucking digging for nothing now.
Yeah.
You look like an asshole. You look like I hope in 5 years or however long it is when all this calms down, we bring this back up to this guy.
No, it'll be 2 years.
Yeah, but he's a
put out
fucking
a special in 2
But
years.
he's trying to manipulate the narrative.
Yes.
Because he wants people to like his style of comedy.
Which
He's
is, by the
trying
way,
to
probably
talk-
not funny.
He's trying to talk about our comedy, Louis' style of comedy. You know,
Louis just does comedy. I don't think it's
Where it's-
stylistically a different thing. I think he just is a very good comedian.
but he's very honest. He's very honest with what he talks about. He talks about, you know, calling his kid an asshole, or he brought even his show was a reflection of his life, which is brutally honest, as opposed to a 3-camera shoot of 5 friends that live in New York and have problems. That's a horseshit show. Louis was one of the first shows to actually show his.
Friends.
What's that?
Friends was a good show.
yeah,
That was,
why you gotta knock
that
it?
was
Y'all put the
Robert's
shit on
ready
that.
to get things back on
All
track.
right, shut the
boys.
fuck up. All right, with your side conversations.
It's funny.
I know. It's shut up. Shut your face.
Bobby, I'm sorry about those guys.
No, it's okay.
Take over, buddy.
What a
He
rock.
just-
You're such a rock.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Fat Mon.
Hey, what the fuck?
Oh, man, I miss doing
But
every
this
week.
guy and the guy, who's the other? What's the guy? Guy.
Branum. Guy Branum.
I mean, they're all latching themselves onto this
They're
thing.
writing. Both of them are writing articles out of their own depth. They don't know what they're like. Guy Branum wrote an article about burning down the cellar table, but he.
The boy, no, he didn't write. It was burning the boys' club at the cellar table.
Yeah, but then
which doesn't exist.
when people pushed back on him, he immediately fell to the argument of it was metaphorical.
It's not metaphorical.
like,
It's
then
fucking
you're a terrible,
detailed.
Then you're a terrible writer, and you have your own TV show, so I know you're not that bad of a writer.
No, he
Like-
he walks into the cellar, and like me, still to the everybody feels uncomfortable walking to that back table.
I
And
constantly do, and I look at what I'm wearing and be like, how can I?
Can I finish a thought without you yapping over it?
Sure.
Yeah, you stupid fuck.
You
Sorry,
got it.
Bob.
Jesus Christ, Dan! I know you fucking have your own show, but let me have mine for 1
Well,
second.
it's really Big J's show.
Yeah, that's true. Both of you guys are right.
I think that everybody feels intimidated walking back there. It's not a boys' club. I feel fucking.
It's a good comedian club.
It's a men's club.
You should feel intimidated walking back to that table. It's that's what the table is.
Yeah, and
he's
women-
not in it, and so he feels because of his own insecurities, he added some type of monster to that table, and it's guys, it's straight men, and it's not. First of all, there's a lot of gay guys that sit at that table, and most of the straight men are fucking queens anyways, would fucking love trans to be at that table. If there was trans comedians, do you know how much most of the straight guys at that table would love a hot tranny, not even just a regular trans girl to be at that table.
Some of the top comics at the Cellar would want that.
Yeah, Norton would never have to leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah, he'd never go on the road.
Yeah.
Just constantly work there. But it is, I think, a lot of this this kind of culture and this, like, they want to take the intimidation out of everything.
Yeah.
Because they're uncomfortable with intimidation, because intimidation means that someone means behind it, and it's just like you said, they're attributing a monster where there isn't one.
Yeah, but okay, so burn the fucking table down and let me in your club, guy.
Oh, they won't.
Let me in your fucking your festival club that I don't get to go to,
Yeah.
or even when I do, I'm not even part of it. I'm on the outskirts of it somehow. Let me into your industry part of it. Let me on your show. Let me go to your fucking parties. You spend your life making people feel uncomfortable around you.
Yeah.
And then you blame us for, what are you doing? What are you talking about?
And if you're going to be gay, you can't be that fat. I got to be honest with you.
But this guy for GQ is just trying to pile on. He's just a pile on.
Well, they're all trying to fucking pile on, don't you think?
What is GQ?
Don't you think a lot of people are trying to pile on to this where, first of all, if you can't really give your honest opinion about it.
No.
Because you'll be,
It's
lot of
nuanced.
people, I mean, it's very nuanced. There's a lot of things. Because people are like, oh, fuck these girls too. A dick shouldn't offend them. I had to really think about that and go, you know what? That's not true either.
Yeah. Not fuck the girls, but here's the thing. If a guy says to you, okay,
Yeah.
hey, I would love to masturbate in front of you.
Yeah.
And that sends you into fucking shocks where you can't work anymore, you have a fucking problem.
Can I explain?
There's something wrong
can I
in
give
your
you
fucking head.
Can I give you a little food for thought
Welcome
that I
to
had?
fucking, of course you said.
I would love
Okay.
food, but I don't think it's allowed in the studio.
What happened? I think that okay.
Sorry, Mom.
Laser
If you, I was listening to Marin about this topic because
Mark?
he's Mark Marin. He's very good friends with him too, and he said something that was interesting to me because he said, you're giving somebody a memory that they don't want forever.
Welcome to life.
I know, but
Every
that,
day,
but that's
I don't
not
want this memory forever. But I gotta have it. I'm here.
But-
as human beings, we don't get to play victim nonstop and get to draw from that nonstop in life and get to go, oh my God, well, this is just my experience in life, and I'm a victim. People that do that are not successful.
the girl at the show. What happened? Now we don't know what happened. This is the one thing that sucks about all this. Louis admitted to it, accepted it, said sorry. Whether he didn't write the word sorry. Fuck off.
Oh, that was
Okay.
too much.
He did that, but we haven't heard his side. You don't know the nuances of these conversations. What happened with those girls? So you're saying that he said, "Well, go back to my room." They walked up to the room, no conversation. Got to the room, he got naked. They left. Fuck you.
Dude, if you go back to a man's hotel room, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. If this is for young men and women. If you go back to a dude's hotel room,
Yeah.
let me explain to you something. He's trying to fuck you.
Really? If Ryan Hamilton takes somebody back,
100%.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna get ice cream.
Come on.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna watch Goonies and get ice cream
Look,
from room service.
If I have a daughter one day,
Lenny Marcus invites you back to your room, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not every guy.
No, but I'm telling you, no, you're going to be fine with most guys. 99% of the guys that are out there, you're going to be fine with. That's not the point. They're trying to fuck you. That doesn't mean that you're not fine. Even Lenny Marcus is trying to fuck you. It may be
No,
never.
he's-
Hold on, and he
May
may
take
not.
7 years.
He may never get the fucking job done. But what happens is you are the guys who become powerful, famous, rich, successful, guys who have game, guys who are confident. Those guys are told you can't have any of that anymore. And that's crazy. Because if it's about the power and about being successful, then technically I can't hook up with any woman that's less successful than me. They don't exist. This is it. I'm done.
He's a success story.
There's nobody less successful than him?
Yeah.
So successful.
I'm at the bottom.
No, he's saying it to the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
I took it like.
Because there's nobody beneath him because he's there.
Yes.
He's literally at the
So
bottom
you,
of
just have
the
to,
ocean.
you have to walk up to homeless women and go, hey, hey, want to watch me jerk off?
And they go, not again.
And they go, sorry.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, if your thing is to jerk off in front of women, right?
Yeah.
That's not. I don't think that's crazy. We all have sexual perversions. If this was a woman and it was
I like titty fucking.
if it was
Let's
a
go
rich
crazy.
woman, if it was a rich woman who liked to finger herself in front of pool boys,
Yeah.
people would be applauding her, exploring her sexuality and her being brave and her figuring out what she's into.
She got her groove back.
Yeah.
Not a
Maybe Louis was trying to get his groove back.
Hey, maybe.
No,
look,
too much of a stretch.
we don't. Look, we haven't heard the details of the thing, but you can't
saying
just
from the
just
five.
dismiss these. You can't just dismiss these girls' feelings. You can't just say fuck them.
No.
You should know better, or it's
Why
just
are you doing
jerking
that?
off.
But
Why
you can
did you
also
do
look
But
at
can I'll say this: every woman I've talked to in my life, my mother, people, my mother's friends,
Whores.
my wife. I mean, if you want to break it down, they were like, I don't see what happened.
Nobody crowds.
Nobody cares. Our business cares. The entertainment business cares.
Well, because
but
the entertainment business covers up a lot of other darker shit.
My mother
by
wanted,
exposing this.
Yeah.
This is easier for the business to be like, see, we're good people. We're taking care of this.
My mother's so disgusted by this. She wanted to start a petition. She wanted to go get all her friends to sign a petition to get Louis' stuff back because she does not understand.
Neither do I.
She goes, you know how many dicks I've seen in my life that I didn't want to see?
We're adults.
But times have changed.
Yo, you're right, but times have changed, and he shouldn't be asking him to see his dick at work, but it's simply a conversation between him and the producers. It's a conversation between him and that woman. It's an apology or whatever it needs to be. It is not a conversation for millions of people to be a part of. Your sexuality is your sexuality, dude. The weird shit that you're into, nobody has a right to fucking take that out and drag it through the mud. And if this was a woman, it would be called slut-shaming. It would be called fucking... we don't hold women to this standard. It is specifically a bigoted attack
What do you
on men.
mean we don't?
I just don't understand why they're only going after male comedians right now. It's all like only male comedians.
Because Harvey Weinstein is one of the funniest comedians out there.
Guys, killer. Guys got a killer 15. Because that's the flavor of it's the flavor of the month right now. Is to go after male
But they're not going
comedians.
to have to. What do you mean?
It's not a flavor of the month.
Dustin
Like, these
Hoffman,
articles
Harvey
are all
Weinstein.
It's been
like
going on
male
4
comedians.
months.
No, but I'm saying like now they'll shift from it was like shifting from producer.
I think
to
that the
now
door.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
door was open with real pieces of shit like Harvey Weinstein.
Deep Spacey.
The door was open, and now what people do is they take their agenda and latch it onto something and go as far as they can with it. And this guy tried to latch on so he could take this table down, get people against the Comedy Cellar, a club that he's not in,
Dude,
a club that he's probably
get
doesn't
that. I
like
don't agree
because
with
what it represents to him, which is stupid. Guy, come down to the club, hang the fuck out. You know, no one
Dude, I hope
watched.
he comes down
No
here
one watched a
and
set.
beats up Bobby.
Yeah.
No one watched the set and actually laughed.
Yeah.
He's like, he never auditioned, but he's actually funny.
Guy's a pro. No,
Yeah,
guy,
but it's
guy's
like-
a
I know
professional
guy.
comic.
He's a
Yeah.
funny comic.
And if he came down and sat at the table,
One of the-
everybody would.
I also
He would be fine.
it just showed he didn't know what he was talking about with the Cellar when he's like, by the way, this table where you'll get laughed out of the place if you say Kesha is better than Bruce Springsteen. You're like, that's a great Cellar conversation.
I think Kelly Clarkson is way better than Bruce Springsteen.
So bring it.
So no, but Bob.
Yeah.
I've dealt with my own experiences. This me and Dan were talking about this before I got here.
I understand that, but my point wasn't that you don't get over it. My point was that you have it forever. And if you had the chance not to have it, if you had that opportunity if you had the opportunity not to have it, if someone didn't have to give it to
they
you,
have the opportunity?
nobody
should be able to click a button and say all my bad memories in the world are gone.
That's not what I'm saying.
Here come the men in
That's not what I'm
black.
saying. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is that the girl in the sitcom,
Oh man,
immediately went and said, "Hey, this happened." and
Gabby
it
would be
fucking-
sore if
it
we
made-
had that clicker.
Oi.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
What, dude?
Immediately said,
What clicker?
shut up, Gabby. Immediately said,
Now we know how
I
you
don't-
get the name
Oh,
Gabby.
shut up, Joe.
Here come the men in black.
Listen,
Galaxy Defenders.
All right, no, I just wanted to get yelled at too.
I'm not gonna yell at you.
I never got my
ever.
hand raised answered, by the way.
You what?
The 4-step thing. I'm the only one that's done a 4-step.
just let me
I
just
don't get
say
my
this.
hand picked.
I'm saying that she immediately went to the people and said, I'm done with it.
Yes.
Like that bothered me. And they had to deal with it. So that, that sucks.
But here's the thing.
And but here's the thing, Louis said, I'm sorry. Said, look, I fucked up. I did some fucked up shit. I own it all. And I guarantee that his manager, his agent, I don't know, but I would say that he would say, look, guys, go do your thing right now. You don't want to be around me.
It's not enough.
Yes.
Take down the.
I don't think them. I think he had something to do with that.
Of course.
I think you're right.
Take
yeah, of
down
course. I
the
completely agree. He's not going to
patriarchy.
show up at comedy clubs right now because he's going to put comedy clubs in a position.
Yeah.
Not the Cellar. Noam's already said, you come down right the fuck now, I'll put you up. Noam is
course.
backing Louis.
Gee.
As he should. As he should.
Loves Louis.
Of course. As he should.
Loves Louis.
Good.
And we do too.
Yeah.
Lou.
This story is unbelievable.
Louis. Wait. This is amazing.
Is he Louis now? Because I never called him Louis
I'm
before.
Louis now. I'm the new
Until
Louis.
Louis comes back,
You're
he's
Louis.
the new Louis.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Wow.
The Louis is dead. Long live the
Are
Louis.
you doing a new hour every year?
Yeah,
Well,
obviously. If you want to call it that, sure.
So, Louis.
Yeah.
You go up there.
Louis. But it's an intro of Lewis walking from the subway where he's like, and it's just angry bodega workers and cab drivers like, fuck you! And it's like, Lewis.
Then he walks by the cellar and
he goes into a bar basement.
and to the Gas Digital Studios.
They hand him a bucket to pick a spot out.
He walks up to the cellar. It's just Esty shaking her head, and he's like, all right.
I go to the dollar pizza spot.
They kick you out, and then you
I have 75 cents. I'm like, can I please have a
If you don't film that, you're an idiot.
Dude,
I'll
that
film
would be
it.
great.
Dude, let's
I'll
film
do
that.
it.
Dude,
I'll
let's film the
film
new Louis
with you.
walking past the cellar.
We'll sell it on your website for $5.
Dude, I mean, listen, Bobby, I will book a crew to film that.
Yes, we need to film that.
In the next week.
We need to
That's
film
Lewis.
funny.
You can see me on Netflix. I'm the guy hugging Louis on his special. 2017 is the name of the special. He didn't ask me for the hug. Just gave it to me.
Laid it on him?
Are you sad?
What's that?
We're both sad.
I'm very sad.
I'm very sad too.
The only silver lining is that Joe List doesn't get to play the Garden anymore.
How about these people? Some of these people we talked about it. The naivete. There's like I read like the Boston comedians. There's like a page, a post, or whatever, like a big thread. And some people were like, well, now that he's gone, they should give these opportunities to other comedians. And then some guy's like, well, he usually would rent out his own room. It's not like he was getting booked. And like, well, that place can rent out the room to other comics. I'm like,
They can.
yeah, maybe they can slip someone else into the Madison Square Garden 8 times.
They can rent it out. Go, whatever fucking dumb, twitty, funny female comic or gay that thinks that they're going to take Louis' place now. Go rent out the Garden and see how many tickets you sell, you fucking morons.
Well,
it's as simple as that. Let me tell you why Louis is going to be fine. Because if Louis rented a theater tomorrow, everyone would still fucking come. His fans would come. The people that are abandoning Louis, they're not comedy fans. There's some dumb fucking feminist twat that read some blog that Louis probably got praised in.
It's a very small. It's a very small percentage of people that are abandoning Louis. Most people are still
fans-wise, but HBO,
Yeah.
HBO, Netflix, FX, his manager, his agent,
yeah,
his
but
publicist.
because here's the thing: the industry has to do that. They're just literally doing. It's like in blackjack where you have to hit on fucking 15 or whatever the deal is, right?
dealer has to hit on
You have
something.
to. You got to play that card. That's it. Simple as that. That's what they have to do. They got to dump them. They got to do it. They know, literally behind closed doors, people at HBO are going, Louis, yeah, it fucking sucks, dude. Obviously, we'll see you in a year or two.
Do you think that's what most of the conversations are?
Yes.
Buddy, listen, they just had Mel Gibson on the Good Morning America show. He's
doing a fucking comedy, a dad comedy, where he was ranting about the Jews and getting drunk and fucking.
I just hope that Louis is okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
You.
Lewis, are you okay?
I'm good. I'm doing
The
all right.
old Louis.
Old Louis.
Old Louis.
Yeah, I mean, you worry.
It's also the other thing is like when you go,
this kind of piling on.
You go to Vegas, right? And you fucking win at the table, and he's been winning and winning and winning and winning and winning, and now he's got to take a fucking couple nights off of the table, and he'll be back. I don't feel bad for Louis because he's still got all those fucking chips. He's still got a yacht. He's still a billionaire. He's still considered the funniest.
Nobody
comic
feels
in the world.
bad. Well, first of all,
You just said I feel bad for Louis.
Nobody feels bad. Let me finish the sentence. Dumb. Nobody feels bad for Louis because his monetary shit about of boats and houses and money. We feel bad for Louis because emotionally he's in a fucked up place. He's got kids. He's got a family.
Well, the world is piling on top.
The world piled on top of him and are putting him with rapists and pedophiles, which he does not belong in, and he can't do anything about this. And he has to sit there and let people do it. I'm sure Louis not sitting there going, poor me. But I feel bad for my friend that he's going through this psychological fucking nightmare. But knowing Louis, I know he will find growth out of this. He will find something out of this to bring to something to his life personally. He will evolve through this.
It's gonna be doing,
But also worth noting, he lost about $50 million in 10 hours.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I know, but I don't think he cares. He doesn't care about.
No, he doesn't care about that. But I think he cares more about the fact that he can't make the things he was making.
Yeah.
He likes to make stuff. He's
he
a creative person. When that's taken away from you, when that ability to make, I mean,
but
for a lot of us, going on stage is just is a great, like, even though it's our job, it's our thing we love and sometimes look forward to when we're going through shit.
Can I say something? Yeah, can I?
Well,
I know, I understand.
So
sorry.
What I was saying is, but I've watched, like, when Chris Rock was going through his divorce, I watched a moment where Chris Rock and Louis had a conversation, and they were like kind of like talking about stand-up. He can't do it now. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. I'm accusing all of you of sexual harassment.
I just
I'm gonna
laughed.
take
It's
everything.
funny.
Everything I'm
It was
gonna take away
funny.
from you. I'm taking away everything.
That was
You
funny.
jerked off in front of me. You jerked off in front of me.
I'm saying.
Oh, he's Oprahing sexual harassment.
Everybody's fine.
Yeah, but I think what bums Louis out is if Louis loves, he really has an eclectic group of friends that he's very nice to, and that he does. You ever go over to Louis' house with me and Joe's been over there?
Yes.
He has this beautiful relationship with all these people, actors, actresses, regular people with all their kids come over and friends, and you sit down. He's in the kitchen cooking. It's like this. You're like, wow. There's this other side of Louis who's very social and so giving. Personally, that it's like I feel bad that he's alone right now or wherever the fuck he is, and that is all kind of fucked
just
up.
cut scene. There's just bitches and money around everything.
I'm just trying to get off this.
It's a bummer, but it's also just great. Like I talked to people, and or I've read too much. I should get off of social media. But some people were like, we'll see how he behaves now. Maybe he goes to rehab or therapy, and if he starts giving back to the community, and you're like, guys, he already did that.
Yeah.
This happened 12 to 15 years ago.
All
He's
of
done
it?
so much for
all 5 of the incidents.
Yes, these 3 women.
between
exhausted
12
I'm
and
just asking you to say that because we need this. If someone's listening right now, you need that clarification.
Yeah, I think people just skip parts. I think a lot of people didn't even read the thing,
Well-
and people just take it into, that these women were in a corner.
They
and
hear
you're like,
it.
That's not exactly
They hear
what
even
happened.
people who read it when they're telling the story. They condense it to fit their
Yeah.
what they how they want to
Yeah.
how quick they need to say it to get their point of view. My wife read the story and then she said something to them like, "Honey, that's not even true. You made that up." And it was for the defense of Louis. And I was like, you can't just say that.
This is 2002 as well. It's like it's a different time, dude. Limp Bizkit was on top.
There's only 2 genders back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, dude. You got to
But-
take one of them.
They I watched the thing on ABC News. They had one of the women in, the one that said no, and he didn't.
Rebecca
masturbate in front
Corey,
of her.
is that the chick's name?
Yeah, so they did a little segment with her, and they show her telling the story. And by the way, I don't begrudge any of these women. They
can't.
should tell the story, and that's fine. I begrudge the people that read the story and go, he should fucking lose all his money. Yeah, good for these people that are taking such joy, and supposedly liberal people taking joy in a guy just going down and losing all this stuff. Like FX is no longer paying him residuals. That's his money. He
That's
did the
crazy.
work.
That
That's-
doesn't
He's
even make
losing
sense.
his own money for something that
I
happened
hope he
15
sues the
years
shit
ago.
out of him for that.
And so he won't. He's just taking it. But I read the ABC News, which is a news thing. They show her. They ask her the story, and she tells the story, which she should do. And she said, he walked up to me. He got really close to my face and said, "Can I masturbate in front of you in your dressing room?" Which is fucking weird and sexual harassment in the workplace. And then it cuts away. That's the end of it. It cuts back to the newscasters going, "Oh well, he's a blah blah blah." They purposefully, they were in the editing room and went. She obviously, the next part of the story is, I said no. He got embarrassed and walked away.
Yeah.
The editor of ABC News went, "We don't need that part. Get rid of that."
Well, of course.
We don't
they
need the
want,
part where he
it's a
says,
story that they have to tell.
she says
and what
no,
they have
and
to do
he
is they want
leaves.
people to keep on clicking in, and they have to compete with regular television shows and the dramas and Game of Thrones.
I don't even
and
know
all
how
these
these news people exist. How they look in the fucking mirror.
Coming up at 10, how we sleep at
No, but
night.
how they lie. They fucking CNN. They edit these things. They fabricate these scenarios, and people sit there and believe them. It's like garbage. I don't know how they fight all these news. All this news is garbage.
It just bothers me when you have a.
But now even reading this shit, it's like it's all fucking garbage. It's somebody's whatever. They're all biased. They have their own agenda, and then they print it, and people read that and that's fact, and it's not.
Yeah, it's just weird to be like, well, we'll see what he does. If he can give back, he should give back to the community. I'm like, that guy, he's been giving back.
Can I say
did a
something?
Yeah,
show
he's
in,
recovering.
during North Carolina, during the bathroom thing last year. All these people, Bruce Springsteen and Pearl Jam, they all canceled the North Carolina gigs. Louis was like, no, we should go to North Carolina. Don't punish our fans who are liberals.
Yeah.
He said, and just donate the money. He reached out to Bruce Springsteen. He tried to get him to do the same. They never responded. So we did the show. He donated all the money, $181,000 of his money to the LGBT. They never thanked him or anything. That's neither here nor there. And it was just quiet. It didn't pick up. Nobody talked about this.
$250,000 made his own special, sold on his own website. $1 million in a fucking day. $250,000 of it went to charity. Another $250,000 of it he gave bonuses to the people that have been working for him and helped make it. and he gave that money to them.
And he's brought Rachel Feinstein on the road and Michelle Wolf and
he brought Joe on the
Eliza
road.
Skinner. I'm a girl, sort of.
He told me he was gonna bring. He told me he was gonna bring me on the road and never called me back.
And the patriarchy.
And then also, I mean, Pamela's show, which he's done great work on, and helped get that. He helped get Tig's show on the air, obviously.
Yeah, but if she's actually, that's interesting too, because she's come out against him.
Well, she took the payment, and then I don't really know, because she was like, I can't work for someone that I heard all these rumors about. It's like, well, you didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
I haven't liked her since she was on Wayne's World.
She actually said,
that's pretty good.
This is what's weird. What she said. She said, I can't talk about we had an incident. I can't talk about it. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. But then she did a episode on her show of a guy jerking off in front of her, and how uncomfortable it is for a woman to have a guy jerk off. So she made it sound like Louis did that to her too, when that's not even near true. The incident isn't sexual. It can't be sexual. What you said, so you're making people think that he did something to you too, maybe sexual. You're actually piling onto this. And now that he's come out and said, look, this is the deal, how come you haven't said anything now?
Why didn't you say it before he put his name on your show?
I think she found out after.
Oh.
But that
maybe, who knows?
But everyone else says these rumors have been around for years. It's the worst kept secret, yada yada. So I think she would have been the only one that
everyone knew about Louis jerking off in front of women. This is something that has been, probably 6-7 years. You hear about things like that.
All right, unbelievable.
But it's like here, and I gotta be honest with you. I think we have a responsibility to be vocal and speak out and actually give our opinions on this. And everyone's being very silent on social media because everyone's afraid of the shit that they're gonna lose.
I'm being silent on social media because it's, first of all, I don't do that shit well. I can do this well. I can actually have a full conversation about it. And learn things that, like, I've listened to Burr, I've listened to Marin, I've listened to a bunch of people on both sides. I read a bunch of shit about it to form an opinion, because I'm not good right away just tweeting some shit.
But I'm also saying, like, that's also a problem with our current culture, is if you don't tweet about it, it means you don't have a stance. That's not true at all. We spent this whole episode talking about it. I talked about it yesterday on the bonfire. I used a lot of my outlets.
Here's the thing, like, not everybody listens to the podcast, and I almost feel like, and I'm saying, you guys, look, you don't have a responsibility. That's the wrong word to use. I do feel like more people should be giving their honest opinion, because most people feel the way we all feel in this room. This is the conversation at every
but this is social media. I mean, this is a huge form of social media.
You're going to tweet this out?
Yeah, I tweet this episode out to everybody.
You can find, it's not going to be hard to find my opinion. And the people that are reading Twitter for my opinion don't know me. They're just following me on a website.
Fucking Twitter.
I think it's not that bad. I think he recovered from it forever ago. It's a fucked up thing he did. He apologized. He was completely honest. If that happened to me, I'd be like, you're
what happened to Lewis? What happened to Lewis is worse.
So I told my mom about this, and my mom goes, Dan, I used to work with attorneys all the time. She's like, you don't think they got drunk and flashed their dicks at me? She goes, they would do it. And by the way, they're the attorneys. My mom's the mediator, so she works for them. And she'd be like this, put your fucking cock away.
Can I say
And then
something?
the next day when they saw her, they'd be like, hey, Trish, sorry, I got a little hammered, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go to this mediation. My mom was like, I never held it against them. I always was like, kind of bummed.
Don't get drunk with fucking coworkers. Don't go back to people's hotel rooms. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, well, it sounded like you were really going for a dick pull out right there.
No, I wore the wrong belt buckle. I got cocky this morning. This thing's this is my show timer. When this thing starts hurting, we got to end the show.
He goes, you guys want to see something special?
But do you remember, I was thinking about.
He asked them, and they said yes. But that's still tricky because he was using his power. Yes.
What do the girls' comics think? What's the buzz around the young comics?
I think everyone doesn't know what to think because we all love Louis, but it's also like we've all been in a situation like that.
Oh, really? Have you been in a situation like that?
I think everyone's been like a little too sexual when you don't want them to. You've always been like, don't do that.
No, I want. That's interesting you say that.
It's so funny. I've had it I know that energy where you're like trying to be sexual and the girl's like, let's not do that. And you're like, oh, okay. So,
yeah, I'm not like that's why I'm not sexual with female comics. I've dated a couple at this point, but I don't just fuck female comics because the truth is it's going to get weird no matter what. When you fuck, it gets weird eventually.
Yeah.
And when you have to be working with them and you're in this environment where everyone's got an opinion and everyone's got social media and it's almost like an addictive thing, it's almost like, well, yeah, that if you have a weird sexual experience with this chick, as a comedian, it's almost like the thing she's going to go to in her mind if she's even a good comic. If there's this weird thing in her fucking life. So it's like there's no upside to that.
Gabby.
I think this is different though because like these are, lower in the rank comics. They're, rising and they go to Louis' hotel room thinking that they're gonna get advice or be
They
chummy
shouldn't
or like.
think that.
But
That's crazy.
Well, they were supposed to
but
smoke
wouldn't
weed,
you
but
like if you open up for Louis and he was
Because
like,
I'm
"Come
a
back to
dude.
my
It's
hotel room"?
It's not out of the look at the comedy community after a gig to say, hey, let's go back to the room and party.
That's not
It's
weird.
not
Yeah.
it's not a weird thing
a
for
dude and a chick, I would always assume he's trying to fuck.
Two
her.
chicks.
Every time.
two chicks, a dude and two chicks. It's not a weird thing to assume that we're just gonna go hang out.
What
and
the
not
fuck is
fuck.
Dan thinking? He's
I would be
smiling.
trying to fuck those two chicks. I gotta
One
be
of the
honest with
thing-
you.
one of
I'm
the-
never inviting chicks back to my hotel room if I'm not trying to fuck them.
But
I make it also very clear.
But
if you
also,
come back
that's
to my
someone they
hotel
just
room-
did a show with.
But we
you
don't know. Wait a
if
second.
I'm-
Stop. We don't know what happened.
Yeah,
we never
that's
heard.
true.
So we're all guesstimating on this shit. We never heard Louis' side of it. We never heard what they said to
Well,
him.
he just said
I heard
it's
Louis'
true.
side of it.
What?
It's not my story to tell.
Exactly. You can't tell that. That's his story to tell.
Right.
Some people know things.
Bonnie and I were at the stand last night just laughing, thinking about two girls in like winter parkas as Louis is buck naked. Like, it's just like, it's funny. It's funny to think like two women are in heavy coats and he's like, yeah. It's like, it was,
Well,
I
in the
don't know.
Gawker article,
It was making Bonnie
which
and I laugh.
It's like,
from 2012 or whatever, I think it was the Gawker, or one of the
Yeah.
articles, it said they gave he asked if he could masturbate, and they gave a sarcastic thumbs up, which, if you're in the realm of sexual harassment, maybe don't use the sarcastic thumbs up.
Go
maybe
ahead,
use
like a
the
sure,
definitive
buddy.
no.
Maybe the automatic no thumbs
I-
down.
But that might
Can
be
I jerk
hearsay
off?
also, by the way. It's a blog, so I don't know, because they said that the story is
That's
fake,
so
so I
funny.
don't know what's real.
But I just
if
love-
that part's real, don't use a sarcastic thumbs up in a sex situation.
sarcastic dirty talking. We're like, yes, fuck me.
Somebody actually said.
fuck me so hard.
But that could
Oh,
all
eye
be
rolling.
fake.
Somebody
was
actually
assaulted.
said they were joking about it the next day too.
She was like, I was joking, and I was like, yeah, jerk
Like they were
off.
actually telling people the story in a funny way.
Of course.
Yeah, I've
Like
heard a
they
couple
weren't-
people say that.
They weren't. They
comics.
weren't like we're
didn't have an-
fucking. They were talking like
I've
comics.
had there are girls that I know, and this happens. Any New Yorker, this like, dude, talk to any fucking New Yorker who's been ridden the subways for 10 years. You've watched some creepy fucking homeless dude jerk off, right?
D-Train. I remember the
1,000
dudes.
times.
And I'm gonna tell you right now,
What a
there's
piece.
some women. I'm not discounting the experience of the woman that really is traumatic for her. But Jesus Christ, dude, if you can't go to work anymore because some fucking homeless guy jerked off in front of you, move out of New York City because it's gonna happen again.
I know, but here's the thing: that image that they have now forever. It does. You can't take away. It does haunt somebody, and you can't say "fuck you." That shouldn't. When they get on the train now, it's like getting mugged. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be like, "Oh, is there a guy jerking off? Is that guy jerking off?" It's this uncomfortable feeling. So you going to work happy, liked your life, loved New York, and now all of a sudden you're getting on the train, fucked up and scared. Am I gonna see this again? Fuck. And you're twitching, which sucks for people. You can't tell somebody to just shake that off because not
Yeah.
everybody can just shake shit off. Some people are more sensitive than others.
It's a
And
great
that-
Taylor Swift song.
Huh?
Great
But-
Taylor Swift song.
so you can't just say fuck. You have to acknowledge that. You have
I
to.
know you could acknowledge it, but I can say no. You have to move on. I mean,
You can move on, absolutely. I'm sure they
And I
do,
think
but
they
it
did
doesn't.
move on. I think they did
Yes.
move on, and now there was an article. I mean, they haven't. It's not like they've been for years being like, "Fuck Louis, take
Yeah,
him down."
they did move on.
They moved on. Everyone moved on.
It was
and
that
then
this
the article,
this Weinstein stuff came out.
Yeah, and so they wrote this article. So my issue again is not with these women, and I feel bad that they went through that. If it was traumatic, it sounds traumatic.
Yes.
Every woman I know. I mean. Ultimately, this is all a good thing. The Harvey Weinstein, the Cosby, because it's making every guy go, I better not fuck around or do
Yeah.
weird shit anymore,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
a
yeah.
positive. And clearly,
Mhm.
it's a fucking epidemic. I literally don't know a woman that doesn't have a story of harassment or
you had
raping
one
or
you were,
everything.
you were getting to.
I don't even need to know. You
No,
have
no.
plenty, I'm sure.
No, but I'm saying you had one. You said.
I feel like everyone's had an assumption that someone's coming on to them when
Yeah.
you're looking for like mentorship or like a little, you go back with a male comedian and you're like, okay, either he's going to give me really good advice or he's going to try to fuck me. Like it's,
but let me,
Right.
let me
But-
say, can I? In
Or
knowing
both.
that,
and
in
that's
knowing
just
that,
not a male
but
comedian. I
Gabby,
take that back.
Gabby, in
Oh.
knowing that, right, and that's part of the temperature of the world, and men are typically trying to fuck women. That's just the reality. We're adults here,
and vice
okay?
versa.
When you make the decision to go back to a person's hotel room and you say that in your head, you're like, all right, he's either going to give me advice or try to fuck me. You're still saying, hey, there's that door number 2.
Yeah, you're
that might
definitely
happen.
aware, yeah.
So you need to sit there and go, okay, well, if he goes for door number 2, I should have been aware. By no means is he even right to grab you, touch you, assault you. But at the same time, I feel like every man has a right to take a shot. What is the problem with taking a shot?
But
If your
okay,
thing
but
is
if
to
your
jerk-
shot is okay,
to
but
jerk off in front of a girl,
But then we kind of
But if
laid
you-
out. Wait a second. We laid out for guys. All right, like I said before, we used to watch movies like Porky's where guys it was okay to see a movie where guys were watching girls shower and then sticking their dicks through a hole. That was all right in movie. You can't do a movie like that anymore.
Well, we'll see.
Right? We've changed. We've
Porky's
evolved
5.
culturally.
Porky's 5 starting Dan
But
Soder.
right? I mean, it was pretty crazy back then. Now, you cut to with things we do now where we set it out like first base, kiss. If a girl's kissing you and you can kiss, then you maybe touch a boobie. And then you go to second, third base, and then fourth.
There's no rule there. You can put a girl.
But
You can put a hand on a girl's thigh. What if that's your thing? If your move to fuck a chick is, I want to. Hey, what's up?
I don't know.
Dan's
No,
being
I think
assaulted.
that's, I think that's a little aggressive.
I don't know, Louis J.
No,
trying to catch his
no.
dick.
Let me say this.
What'd you say?
What about the women that enjoy a guy doing that? That's what they want. They want a man to put her hand on her thigh, and she's not wearing any panties, and she's that
No,
dude. She's
I'm
like, I
not.
want him to fucking.
I'm such a naughty girl.
But can I just say this real quick too?
Go ahead.
Again, like, and I think it's a positive, and I think that obviously
List.
there's
Joe List.
excessive misogyny in the world in all fields, and but to me, the crazy, sick, weird thing is that we live in a fucking time and society that you can lose everything you worked for 30 years in 10 hours
Yeah.
for a thing you did 14 years
It's
ago.
the saddest thing in the world.
I mean,
That is not a crime. That is not illegal. That is not anything that has infringed upon the rights of anybody in any legitimate, tangible way. In some crazy sort of,
I think you're right. Yeah.
political, under the microscope by a certain definition, I guess you could say that he crossed the line. But that line is up for debate. That line in society, it's a huge disparagement between where people believe that line.
I just don't. I think what Joe's saying is true. That what happened to him was overkill. What happened to him was a reaction to all this other shit that's going on, and I don't think Louis deserved to be in the category that they shoved him in.
It's irresponsible.
And then took away everything from him like he was some type of predator. And he's not. Louis is one of the nicest, most beautiful human beings I've ever met. And he's helped me with... I'm sorry. He's helped me with fatherhood. I've called him in situations where I didn't know what to do because I don't have a dad. I don't have a fucking dad. And I've called him and I've talked to him and he's helped me be a better dad and a better husband in fucked up situations. So to have him put in some predatory fucking piece of shit category, you don't know, Louis. You took one thing, a couple mistakes, things that he feels bad for now, 10, 15 years later, when now he's a father and a friend and his life is different. And you, I think you should be ashamed of yourself that we can either, we can't see that, okay, this man is not that. He's not a rapist. He's not a pedophile. He's not an assaulter. And
talking to you, Dan.
I know.
I just think that,
And I say,
I
the
think-
patriarchy.
I
and
think
I
we
think
should
you're not woke.
I think we should take a second to see. I know we joke, but we should take a second as comedians and as this fucking industry to look at this and maybe get instant replay. Maybe hit instant replay and look at it again and go, you know what? I think we fucking went a little too far with this guy.
I don't think anyone's doubting that we went too far. I don't think
Some people are.
Well, those
Some people say he should get jail time.
Well, there's girls that are on Facebook now saying anybody defending Louis, don't book them at your show. You hear in these Facebook groups, like the chick. I still get screenshots from chicks.
I don't think you should defend. I'm not.
But
no,
that's
no one's defending Louis.
They're saying people that are defending and like
they're making it a black and white issue.
but they're like they're trying to reach out to
They're looking for
industry.
internet high fives. This is what they're looking
They're not.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody defends anything, and I think these women, we should be there for them.
Absolutely.
And
if these
I-
women
I-
are affected by this, you should be there for them.
And they are.
And we should be there for Louis.
Well, that's what's also.
But I think that as humans, we all make mistakes.
And I also think we need to fucking call out opportunists
Exactly.
that are using this fucked up situation in order to fucking perpetuate their career that's based on mediocrity.
Yeah,
and
Guy
not real,
Branum.
Not Guy. I'm talking about other people.
Yeah, Guy Branum. We're talking
think-
about you. That's what Dan means.
I think Guy's funny, but I think Guy was a little out of school on
Tweet
his
it
article.
out. Dan Soder thinks Guy Branum's gay.
I
I mean, he is gay. He's pretty confirmed on that.
He knows he's gay. Sorry.
Well, there you go. So I
Oh,
just
we're
know
gonna-
something.
my belt.
But I'm
buckle.
saying, I think
Oh,
as
God.
comics, we need to
God.
fucking, we need to remember who these people are that are opportunists. And when this shit cools off, they need to be reminded that we were. I hate you.
We're evolving. My son and your son are gonna be better for all this stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I actually thought that the other day.
My
That's
kid-
the one
yeah.
thing. Look, my
My
son
kid's
is going to
gonna-
grow up in it where there's
My kid,
But it is.
my kid's gonna be.
we stink.
No, I'm saying that I seriously. I was thinking about this because I think about you too because you're in the same situation as me.
Yeah.
We have this kid and we're trying to raise him, but the way we were raised was fucked up. Our kids aren't gonna do this type of stuff. They're gonna treat women better.
That's
They're
great.
gonna- I wish we could. My kids aren't. They're gonna be better human beings than we were.
I'm like, people think I'm such an asshole, but it's like, I am such a fucking faggot when it comes to my kid.
Oh, boy.
Like, I really am. Like, little things.
Wow, way to take one step backwards as they're trying to step forward.
I'm trying.
But no, my son, like, well, people are like, oh, would you care if your son was gay? It's like, my son can literally play with whatever toys he wants.
Yeah.
He can if he want, dude, if my son wants to wear a fucking bow in his hair, I wouldn't give a shit.
My kid for Halloween had an Ursula wig on and was literally playing with the braid, like, Daddy. And I was like, "Gay man, rock and roll, buddy.
You
Do
said
whatever
gay
you
man?
No,
He goes, gay, man. He goes, gay. Get that shit out of my face, son.
Was
Dick
it
check.
Was it your Monica wig? Same
it was
wig?
Ursula
Oh.
from
You
that
guys are
movie,
such
Little
bro-
Mermaid.
You guys
Little
are such,
Mermaid. Yeah.
you guys are such brother and sister.
But it's like, you know, hey, look, we're at a way different time, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can't also expect to
gay different time.
reprogram people. People are programmed
Yeah.
from the time they're fucking 1 year old to the time they're 4 years old, and it's really parents. It's the parents' responsibility to fucking do the right thing during that time. So you're
That's a
asking
parent.
entire generations of people to be reprogrammed and to undo.
It's
their
okay to do
culture.
that.
No, not
It is.
reprogrammed. No.
No, it's okay to have these things blow up and have people go, "What the fuck?"
To have a
But
conversation's
to have-
okay,
yeah,
and to
yes.
share ideas and to come and say, hey, look, we need to learn from each other. But to say, if you don't think the way that I think, you can't have a career. Fuck that.
That's crazy.
That's
It's
what's
taking
crazy.
away,
That's
it's
what's
taking
scary.
away the
Crazy.
spirit of comedy. It is an attack on comedy. That GQ article is fucking crazy.
an attack
you
on
want,
comedy.
You want
That's
all,
crazy.
You want all the
I
comics to
agree.
be women and gays? Have fun with that fucking mediocre
That is
fucking
that
comedy
is
scene.
sexist. That's reverse sexism.
Yeah, of course.
That's crazy
Can I just
shit.
say this too, real quick?
Please,
because
Joe.
there's also like I don't know the right word, like symmetrics or science behind this. Like I've seen some of these. I read too much, but people are like there should be 2 women on every show in the city. But some of those, I'm like, you just can't work. There's not enough women doing comedy.
I book Rose Masters
Like-
every week. We book whoever's fucking available because it's whoever we can fucking get. Sometimes it's all women. Sometimes it's no women. But I never go, dude, you know what? We need some more dudes.
But-
There's too many fucking women
So
on this show.
my point
That's
is, it's
crazy.
like there's like people that are
We're
like
looking
every.
for women. If you are a funny woman, if you are a funny fucking woman, guess what? You will fucking make a lot of money. Period. I've never seen your stand up, but if you're slightly good, keep at it. You'll have a fucking career. Guaranteed. There is not one single funny name.
Can I finish my
no,
thought?
No, let me make this point. There is not one. Name one.
The point that's in the middle of my point.
Can you please let him make
no,
his
no,
point?
let me make this point. Can I?
Lewis.
What?
Listen,
What?
we got it.
No.
We
Again,
just
let's
let
leave
him
it
make the
1:30.
point.
Okay, make the point.
Jesus Christ.
So they say like there
If
should, be,
there's not one single funny.
that was pretty funny.
there should be 2 women on every show, but I'm like there's 10 clubs and another 20 bar shows, and they don't factor in that like some women have they take a night off, they have a kid, they're on the road, or they're not even attempting to get into some of these. Like bookers of the Patrick Milligan's not going out to Williamsburg to find. Well, you have
Right.
to try to get into these clubs.
Yeah.
And then
it's
scrutinize the lists
so there's,
and the lineups.
So if you want 2 women on every show, there's 50 shows happening a night. So that's like there's a lot of spots. Some of you just can't run to. I've booked a show. Sarah is a woman. She booked a show, and she's like, I couldn't get any women. I tried to get women. It's like
just
you can't.
it's the
There's
name
just not. You can't just force women to do comedy.
Well, you can't
There's
also.
more doing it, which is great. But it's like some of these things you're like, that's not physically, scientifically possible
You
to
also-
have those spots.
You can't ask for equality in results. You can't ask for like it to be like, why aren't there more female comedians? It's like women drop out. There's more men. Some men stick with it. I don't know. There's people have been around. It's just it's a numbers game.
Well, you know what it is? It's because at every club there is some man that is making women afraid to be there. And in every meeting, in every agency, there is some man that is using his power and his intimidation in order to make a woman
Every
be there.
wo-
So I don't
I
even
don't
want to
doubt
go
that.
to
I
this.
just went to LA last year when I took all those meetings.
Yeah,
it was
did you ever
mostly-
fucking pull my
It
microphone
was
away from me.
Listen, it was mostly women and gay men.
I had 4
And every fucking I went to 7 meetings.
IFC's all
I
women.
did not sit. There was not one meeting I went to where it was 2 straight men. But there was women. There was a woman and a gay man in the meeting too.
exact same thing happened to me last week. 4 meetings, 3 women. One man. I had one meeting
One
with
gay guy, Dan Soder.
and I was like,
But it was mostly.
don't worry, I got that covered.
But I don't understand these every meeting I had was women, and I have no problem with it. They were great people, women and gay men. It was great.
Name one female or gay man who is funny, a comedian who is funny, legitimately funny,
Jessica
that
Kirsten.
at the very least isn't on the track to being successful. Where do they exist? Name this. Oh my God, that chick is so funny. How does she not have anything?
Amber Nelson. She should be
She
on the
has
track.
stuff.
I don't know if she has enough stuff though.
I don't know what's going on in her career,
but I think she's fucking.
Amber Nelson might be
super
the funniest person.
I
I've
can
ever
name.
met
I
in my
can
life.
name.
Incredible.
I can name
Is
500.
Amber who is she? I never met her.
Amber
She
Nelson's
moved
a
to
comedian.
L.A.
Oh, she
Did she
did?
move?
like-
Oh yeah, her and
she was
She
Battle
was
a
Royale.
while
in
ago.
Rory Scovel's opening.
But
Yeah.
she's
That was
also
his
been
hour.
on TV a bunch. She's had a bunch of writing stuff. I don't know. It's not like she's.
You're right.
She's not having success. I don't. What do you want me to say? Maybe she's not a household name. Not every woman.
Like
can be a
you're
household name.
not success. That's what you mean.
No, I'm talking about less successful than me. I'm talking about like
Right.
where is a woman who is as funny as just a funny woman who's not at least going there. The only thing that's maybe in her way is the amount of time that she's been doing it.
I think I think
They don't
that
exist.
everything has changed. It's not a boys' club. It's you know. I think
It is easier
I think
to
networks.
be a female comedian today.
I
in
think
2017.
I think networks are really trying hard to put women directors, writers.
People are gonna hate that I say this,
Uh.
but this is a real thing. I had a legitimate role, like a big role on a show, and they go, "You're a white guy. We can't give you this role."
Are you kidding me?
No, that totally happens all the time.
I went
Ralph,
like,
Ralph,
do you
Ralph.
understand?
Why
do
do
you
you
understand?
stop? Why do you know that, Gabby?
Because I went to theater school, a bunch of my friends are, white guy actors who are just like not getting as many
They
roles anymore.
legitimately, the casting director
Even
called
white-
me. and
Do you
was
like
see
like,
what they did
girls.
with Hamilton? They booked all blacks.
but they called me. The casting director called me and was like, "I just want to say, like, your callback was unbelievable. We think you were great." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You're a white guy. We got to go with diversity."
I had an
Sorry.
agent
True.
and the comic strip years ago. An agent, a powerful agent, say, "I just can't. I have too many white guys."
And
That
listen,
happens every single.
but
fucking
listen,
day.
yeah.
That's a
but I
regular
also understand
occurrence.
that there's a balance to that, and I have
No,
a fucking
there's no
privilege in
movement for
society,
diversity.
and I understand that. But I'm saying, like, there is moments. If you think that white guys, this is a point. I don't want to say who made this point, but a friend of ours was like, Guy Branum saying these gay guys are saying like all these straight men control the industry. He goes, I'm hearing Guy Branum say that, and I'm hearing, I forget what the other example was, and he goes, they have TV shows. I'm staring at my savings account, watching it dwindle because I'm a straight white guy, and I'm fucking worried I'm going to be homeless.
But people,
and it's like, how do we control the industry if you're?
Because when you get power, when you get the control,
Yeah.
you want all of it.
Yeah.
You want more of it.
Yeah, it's like
what white
hard-
guys
it's hard to-
did
it's hard
back
to-
in the day. It doesn't exist anymore, and they can't fathom. It's like, dude, it's not that way for white
Imagine
guys.
being
Poor
alive
man.
like during
And you-
Sinatra times, just be able to punch your wife. Be like, yeah, what's up, guys?
Poor
Yeah,
man
I'm
want to be
giving-
rich, and a rich man want to be king, and a king ain't satisfied
Joe
until he
List,
rules
everybody.
everything.
Yeah.
Kesha.
Nice.
Well,